Good evening.
How we doing?
Welcome to Finnegan's.
Yeah, another night, another nonsense.
Another
Another load of nonsense coming out of your mouth.
oh, straight in. To be fair, I think I bring the sanity to this.
You probably
Proceeding.
do, to be fair. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Well, we're here for another Wednesday.
We're here for another Wednesday. We're drinking something different tonight, Thomas, aren't we? Look at this.
Look at this.
Look at this. This is in honour of our guest.
We're on, cheers,
Honour of
Laura.
our guest.
I was going to say I'm on the pints, so I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. Very good, very good. So, welcome to Wednesday night at Finnegan. Say hello. Let us know you're watching. Let us know you're in for the night. Hopefully, you've got yourself a drink. Like we're on the G&T,
Yeah, G&T.
which is great.
I don't know.
It feels a bit more sophisticated this evening,
Yes,
doesn't it? Nice.
yes, we've got to behave ourselves tonight.
We have.
That's why I dressed up and you never.
Do you know what? Most weeks, Alan
Yeah.
dresses like a homeless
Like what?
person. And so I lower my bar accordingly. And
This
then
is the
today,
best stuff you've got.
you surprise. There's nothing wrong with super dry.
I know, but it's the best stuff you've got, isn't it?
It's all right.
Let's be honest.
Well, you're only wearing that probably because Joyce laid it out for you
No,
this
I'm
morning.
wearing this because with the weather getting a bit colder.
Yeah.
I thought I'd put a bit of a
You
jumper
thought
on.
that people would see your nipples if you didn't have a jumper on. That's what you thought.
Possibly.
That's what you
Although they're
thought.
covered by the screen, look.
Oh,
All right.
here we go. Well, let us know if you've got any sound. Oh, yeah, people have got sound. There's a couple of people saying they haven't got any sound, but hopefully you've got sounds now.
That's because you
Let's
haven't
have-
pressed the little icon with your sound on.
Mikey's here tonight,
Mikey.
so I'm expecting.
Mikey's got the
Let's go-
kids.
We're going to cut straight over to Laura. I'm
Yeah.
expecting Mikey to be very supportive husband tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't see the comments, so we'll see.
Yeah.
You can
You shouldn't have
filter
said
them
that,
for
really,
me.
should
But
you?
no, he has been very nice to me,
He has.
saying go get him and stuff like that. It's
Go
not
get
exactly
'em.
Oh, go get
that
them.
vibe.
Game
yeah.
on.
Yeah, what a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
husband. Yeah, go get. Yeah. What is
We don't like it when the Anglicans come to get us. We remember our history.
Yeah.
Evening, everyone. Nice to see you, Jackie. Nice to have you in. Oh, here we go. Mikey, what's he saying?
What's he saying? What's he
I'm
saying?
here. Pack of wine gums, cheeky pint, and my wife is out. Can't get better than this. Oh,
Only if the kids wake up, Mikey.
Yeah.
You're done
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
that's it. If the kids wake up. You
Yeah.
had one of those, didn't you? I remember you telling me a story where Joyce went out first time, left you with a baby.
Oh,
Was that-
dear me, Tom.
Go on.
First ever time. So I'm rubbish at everything, but looking after kids, I'm even worse. Like, so the baby, I don't know, 6 months old, something like that, maybe less. She'll probably tell us, she'll be watching. And she went out to a church meeting, so I had to stay in, right? And I'm in the house. As soon as she left the door, the baby started crying.
They know.
Like 3 hours.
Sense it.
I
They can-
tried
yeah. They can smell
everything.
weakness.
Everything. I tried everything that I knew, which wasn't a lot, but I did
Like
try
two
everything.
things. What did
Like-
you try?
like,
Shouting.
Picking up.
Shouting
no,
at them. Quiet! I said quiet!
No, it was getting pretty rough at one
Yeah,
point. I was
yeah.
literally considering windows and stuff. Like,
What, throwing the baby out the window?
yeah. Our Rachel was going to get ditched, right? Honestly, and in the end,
It was the
I'm
90s.
not proud of this.
Yeah.
I'm not proud of this. This was back in the 80s, so I'm
Go
not
on.
proud. Of
Oh, a decade earlier.
Yeah.
So I ended up just letting her cry.
The
in
baby?
a cot thing,
Yeah.
yeah. And I sat on the step.
Just
You
sat
put
You put
outside.
yourself on the naughty step.
I just sat outside on the step.
Excellent.
And
Yeah.
Joyce come in and said, "What are you doing here?" And I went, "That baby just doesn't stop crying." She walked in, picked it up, and it stopped.
Ah, 6 weeks old
And then you
apparently.
started.
I couldn't. Oh, I was broken. I was a broken man from that day for about 20 years. Literally 20 years. They broke me, my
They
kids.
can destroy your soul. It's true.
They do. They
Sometimes
broke
I
me.
think, are my kids trying to kill me?
Yeah.
Tonight, I came in and they hugged me, but then two of them grabbed onto my feet and I couldn't walk. And then the other just ran straight into me and I was on the floor.
Yeah.
It's like, great. It's just a normal
As soon as
welcome.
you're outnumbered as parents,
Yeah,
I think they know. They start to realise we've got like
more of
they've
us.
got the power. They've
numerical
got the
supremacy
yeah.
here. So like they start to work out ways to take you
I'd
on.
come in and like
Yeah.
it used to be a Friday, but then it just happened every night from work. I'd come in and they'd be hiding, and I'd just walk in like to go to take my coat off, and it would be like that Pink Panther that you don't know nothing about again.
Yeah.
Where Kato would attack him to keep his skills up. The kids would literally jump. They'd shout, "Fight night!" And they'd jump off things and onto me. And I'd be like trying to wrestle one after my head while the other one's booting me, like, and battering me, honest. And that'd be like every night. I was scared to come home.
Yeah.
The crying baby thing, though, I remember pre number one, who we call Elijah now, pre number one, we did a course or something, which is like, we tried, we
good,
thought
very
fully tried to prepare. But
Above
I remember
and beyond that, really,
I know,
isn't
well,
it?
Exactly.
What's the point?
we did a course.
Yeah.
And
We'll fix it with a course. This is how we do
it
babies.
was what do they call it? The posh one, Laura. You'll know.
NCT.
NCT.
Yes.
NCT. NCP's the car park,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I think that's a better option, to be honest.
To a car
Leave
park.
them in a car park.
We wondered when we sat in the car park for 2 hours, cost us 15 quid.
Couldn't do it.
So we did the NCT course, but I remember getting this
NCT,
leaflet.
what does that stand for?
National Childcare Trust.
Oh, of course. it does.
Childcare, yeah.
Yeah, you're from down south, aren't you?
That's it.
We've never
It
heard of
was
that up here.
It was super posh.
We've
I have
never
to
heard of
admit.
that up here.
Like all the other people on the course were in banking and all that sort of thing.
Childcare is, your ma says, just give it some Calpol, lad.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't work, try the whiskey.
There you go.
Seriously. That's the advice.
You should do a course. You should have done a course.
I'd make a fortune.
Well, so
Sorry.
they handed me a leaflet which said, it was very colourful, pictures and big font, and it said, "It is never okay to hit your baby." And I thought that's a bit strong. Like, why do you need a leaflet to say that? Clearly, that is obvious. But then when the baby's crying,
Then it arrives in
and
your
it
life,
arrives,
and
and
you're like,
you're,
oh,
and then you
never
read the
have I felt
leaflet.
such rage.
Yeah, exactly.
So, we had one night with our Rachel. She was the oldest, Becky's the youngest, and Becky was crying in the bed. And
Yeah.
Rachel came into our room. She come in and she went, "Dad, that baby's doing my head in. Shall we kill it?" And I went, "Yeah, come on." She picked the pillow up. I swear she picked the pillow up. I went, "I'm only messing."
how long's she served now?
That's it. Yeah, she's still not out. Very good.
She was a young offender. She's all right. She got took on an outward bound course and all that, doing canoeing and stuff.
Oh,
She was
yeah.
fine, yeah.
Yeah. So they're out.
Tao says she's always outnumbered. Please pray for her with her children. And here we go. This is it. This is what Jackie's saying. Men do that so women don't want to leave them again. Result
Oh, no,
for the
honestly,
men.
Jackie, it wasn't that.
So-
I was quite happy to have a night on my own, but I just wanted the babies to sleep,
Yeah.
I was actually quite happy. I love it. I love it when Joyce goes out. It's boss, isn't it? You can watch anything you want on the telly. You don't have to pretend to like dancing on ice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's a different vibe if the baby's just
You
screaming
can just
for
have
the
sports
entire
on
time.
all day. Yeah, it ruins it. Ruins it. Yeah.
Mikey's saying Calpol has saved our marriage.
I have to dose him twice every night.
Just Mikey, that is.
Mikey,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Just so he settles.
Just so he settles down, that's it.
Very
The
good.
Twitter handle's medicated Mikey, and that explains it now.
That does.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
does.
Yeah.
It
That
does.
is good. And Emma said, "Al, you should do the next parenting
class.
course at Emmanuel."
Yeah, I'm up for it. If you want to bring me in as a bit of a consultant, no problems.
Very good, very good. Well, good evening to everyone as you're joining in. That's great. There's some great comments flying in already, so
Yeah.
that's brilliant.
So our nuggets of the week.
So-
Explain, Tom.
Nugget of the week. So our nugget of the week last week was your mum Linda.
Yeah. We haven't got
And
other stuff yet, have
We haven't got other stuff, and Mandy, who
Good
we haven't
son,
got.
I haven't seen her.
I know we haven't seen
Terrible.
Mandy.
Sorry,
either,
Mother.
which is terrible.
You need to come round, Mother, so we can see you.
So you're gonna there get Ian Yates' new album. So we'll
Yeah.
pass that on to you. And if you haven't seen Ian Yates'
And the old album, isn't it?
and the old one, yeah, it's still got loads of
I think we
those,
got
giving
two.
them away, I think. So and so you're gonna get 2 albums
Yeah.
from. And Ian's episode was fantastic. I loved it, and we went we went deep. We went a little bit deeper
Oh,
last
we
week,
went
didn't we?
deep,
We
Tom.
talked about mental health.
We did.
talked about kind of struggling with difficult things in life and how
Yeah.
faith works in that. And it was really, it's worth a watch. So you
It
could
is,
go
yeah.
back
Go back and watch that
see
episode.
that one.
Yeah.
But nugget of the week is basically whoever puts the funniest comment up of
Or the one we
evening,
appreciate the most.
Or the
Doesn't
one we-
necessarily have to be funny. It
Doesn't-
usually is.
It is usually a bit funny.
But the one we appreciate the most.
So if you throw
Well,
that.
you appreciate because
Yeah.
I can't see the comments.
Alan,
'Cause I'm
well,
blind.
I've worked out that I have to pick because A, Alan can't see the comments, and B, he wouldn't remember them if he could read them. So I'm the one who has to. If you're,
So you got to impress Tom, basically.
So-
don't worry about me. Just impress the Tory. You'll be all right.
give Alan some stick. That is a safe bet. But exciting,
Yeah.
because this week's nugget of the week is going to get a fantastic
Oh, yeah.
prize.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
a
about this.
fantastic
Yeah.
prize. So
Fab.
we promised a special announcement this evening.
We did. Have we got a drum roll on there? We haven't, have we?
No.
No. Okay. It's rubbish.
Okay.
Send it back.
We
Get me
can't.
money
We're
back.
gone 30 days now.
Oh, dear.
But so it's a fantastic prize, and so we had said we'd have an announcement, and so we're announcing tonight our Christmas special.
Yeah,
Christmas at Finnegan's is going ahead.
it is.
On Wednesday, the 14th of December.
Yeah, put it in your diary.
Put it in your diary, 8 p.m.
It's not going to be streamed.
It's not going to be streamed.
It's
so
a
this
live
is
only event.
what happens in Finnegan's stays in Finnegan's that night.
It's a lock-in.
It's a lock-in.
Yay.
So there's limited tickets. So
Yeah.
if you want a ticket, you're going to have to get one quick.
Yeah.
And they're £5 because we've got to pay for the venue.
I had a look, and they're £5.98 with the
Do you know
VAT
what-
or something.
it's
I don't know what that is. They've gone up.
You just say £5.
Yeah, they're not, sorry, they're £5.
And then you surprise people when they get to the checkout that they've
Yeah.
got to pay an 86 pence
98
booking fee or whatever. But that doesn't
it
go
was.
to us anyway.
No.
So, so come along that evening. It's going to be at the Beefeater, the packet steamer in Netherton. So we
Yeah.
couldn't fit everyone into Finnegan's. So
No.
we're going for the packet steamer
Yeah.
in Netherton, Beefeater. So if you're local, get yourself a ticket. And in fact, we put a link in the comments. If you go right up to the top, I've thrown the link in the comments. And the first 10 people
First 10.
that maybe
buy a ticket.
who buy a ticket are going to get a piece of a bar of nougat.
Nugget. Depends on where you're from, obviously. You're down south, you'll get a nougat, apparently. I don't know what that is, but
So the Christmas special, we're going to
it's
have
booked. It's booked.
we're going to have previous guests. Laura, you've got a babysitter, haven't you?
Yeah.
We will have. Yes,
We will have
definitely.
one.
Yeah, we're going to be there.
If
You're
not,
going to be there. You and Mikey. We'll
Yeah.
get the dynamic duo on.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
have
Yeah.
we're going to have you guys up. We could do the some sort of relationship thing, couldn't we?
Mr. and Miss.
Mr. and Miss. Yeah, counselling, therapy, or just,
Very astute that you've noticed that already.
or we
Yeah.
could just work out who gets what. We could
Yeah, yeah.
just do that.
Yeah, we can just say, you can have the kids, you get the dog.
yeah. Who's on the bad end of that deal?
The kids, clearly.
So on the night we've got Mikey and Laura. We've got other previous guests. I think
Yeah.
Mark's going to come down.
Mark
Steve
Williams gonna
Cookson,
come down.
I
Steve
think, is
Cookson
going to be
will be
around.
there, yeah.
Emma's going to come
Danny will
and sing
be
a couple
there.
of songs. Danny's going to be there. He's going to might maybe do a quiz. So
we haven't told him that yet.
We haven't told him that.
So, Danny, if you're watching, you're
Come
doing
in-
the quiz.
you're gonna
You're
do a
doing the
quiz.
Christmas quiz, lad.
We have all sorts of games and fun. You can
Yeah.
win your very own church merch in person on
You
that
can.
night.
You'll
So
win church merch. We're
there's gonna be
definitely getting
all
rid of
sorts
it.
going on.
We're
We're
getting rid of the church
You
merch
might
because I'm
even-
sick of it in
Yeah.
Finnegan's back. It's doing me head in.
So get that date in your diary.
Yeah. What was
Get a
it again?
ticket. Wednesday the 14th December,
I'm just checking you
8
remember.
p.m.
Yeah.
Packet steamer.
Packet steamer.
Link for the tickets in the chat. So
Yeah.
that's all very exciting. But coming up tonight, we have got the wonderful Laura Ferguson.
Yeah.
And do you know what? You can tell we only get guests who we think are going to be good. We get on fairly early, and so
Yeah.
Laura was on like instantaneously
Yeah.
there. And so we'll be going back to Laura in a second. If you've got any questions for Laura, then please feel free to throw them in the chat, and we will ask Laura. We will ask her anything. She said she will answer anything.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
just throw those up
Yeah.
there.
Get the questions in, yeah.
I didn't
Go on.
mention this earlier, but I was with year one today talking about Jesus, and they ask absolutely anything. So you probably can't surprise me, I'd say.
Okay.
Try and beat year one.
You're well
Okay.
prepared. You're
Yeah.
well prepared there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's laying down the gauntlet, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've also got something. Do we leave the comedy course till after Christmas?
No, mention it. Go on. Mention it
We're
because we
gonna-
mentioned
we're
it
going to
previously.
run a comedy course after Christmas. It's going to be a fundraiser towards our community shop. We're going to raise some money for that, aren't we? And,
We are.
A lot of what we're planning to do and doing is fundraising towards that community shop, isn't
Yep.
it? So that people can get cheap food in this time. We don't want to get all serious on here tonight, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. We're planning on fundraising to stock our shop up so you can have a boss shop there. But so the comedy course will be on the 12th of January. We've got a comedian coming in to teach it, not Tom or me.
A proper comedian.
Proper comedian, like a real one. King of Bootle. He's coming in to teach the course.
Yep.
And we're asking you to come on the course. We need 6 to 10 people. So we've got 3 already that have said that they're interested. And what we're saying is that the course won't cost you any money, but we want you to get sponsors to sponsor you to do this course. And then the final, because at the end of the course, we're putting a comedy night, a gig on where you will be the entertainment.
Wow.
This is how I started, so you can have a career just like mine, you know?
I mean, that's pretty impressive. Like Britain's Got Talent, a previous, semi-finalist
Previous
through this
loser
course.
on Britain's Got
they
Talent.
took Alan from there to there and back down again with this course. So
Off a cliff.
so it's worth.
So
it
so
could
yeah,
be
so
worth
if you're
it.
interested in that, let us know. Let
Yeah.
us know. But that's after Christmas anyway. So.
Yeah, and we've already got a few nuggets signed up for that one, haven't we? So very good.
Yeah, we have.
Jackie's saying £5 for a bar. £5 for a bar of nugget is only about 59p in the home bargains.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's a bonus. That's a bonus.
That's a bonus for the
Alright.
first time. Jackie's not getting one if she signs up.
That's aggressive, isn't it? I was hoping you'd come, Jackie.
Yeah, so was I. But
Well, Jackie, try hard with a funny comment. You might get a ticket for free. Did we say that?
No,
that's
you
what
haven't got
nugget,
to it yet.
I didn't even get to that bit. So Nugget of the Week this week, we'll get a free ticket
Right.
to the
Nice.
Christmas
That
special.
is a little bit better, yeah.
So good.
Free ticket. Yeah.
So
Not bad, is it?
it's not bad at all.
No.
It's not bad at all. Okay, very good. Very
You're
good.
helping out a good cause.
Great course.
No, you're helping out a good cause.
Yeah. I didn't know what he said. I just repeated the last bit.
What cause?
Yeah.
Did you think we were drinking beer again?
I didn't know what was going on.
What's going on here?
Okay, so that'll be Nugget of the Week. Christmas at Finnegan's. Tick, tick, tick. Let's have a... What have you been up to this week? Have you been up to anything, Cal?
I can't remember, son. I'm at that age when I forget what I've done and what I don't do and all that type of stuff. What did I do? Oh, no, I was... Oh, yeah. No, this is quite sad.
Go. Okay.
I'm
Don't take
I'm
us down.
serious. It could take us down. I best not. No.
Yeah, go on.
A real long-standing member of our church passed away this week.
Yes, that's
and while
true.
that's really sad, it's also... because of our faith, it's also a kind of good point. I
Yeah.
know that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
But we believe they've gone to be with Jesus, so it's a good point for them, and they were living in a nursing home and all that. And it just got me reflecting on this person's life, and I've been spending some time with the sister and that. So it's been a bit of a different week for me.
Yeah.
But a good week, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I've been to get being the Aussie today to have my eyes looked at again. I've still got eyes. They're still there. Yeah,
Very
but you
good.
come out and it's all blurred. You know, after
Yeah.
they spray you, they say these might sting a little bit.
Yeah. And then your vision's really blurry for a while afterwards.
Yeah.
You
For a
really
few
shouldn't
hours.
drive home. I don't think you're supposed to
I
drive
thought
home
that.
after
I
that.
thought that when I crashed. They ask you if you're in your car, and you
Do
say
they?
no, don't you?
Yeah. The Joyce to drop you off, didn't she?
She did drop me off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Well, you're sensitive to lights, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have pupils like I've been on smack or something. I don't know.
Very good. Very good.
So what have you been up to?
What have I? Do you know what? We started a budgeting course at church this week.
Oh, right. Okay.
So we've got a couple of people.
That's why you've got that jumping on.
Look at him. All confident. Right, anyway.
I'm
So-
sure I've seen that in the charity shop.
Oh, Laura. Can you stop him, please?
I was enjoying it. Sorry.
Okay.
To let him go.
Carry on. Sorry, you started the budgeting course. I'll behave.
We did a budgeting course. And so, which is good, a good thing,
Yeah.
especially at the moment.
Very good, yeah.
And so this budgeting course, we did it. Me and Emma, we did it when we first got married. Laura, did you ever? Because bringing finances together when you get married.
No, we definitely could have done with that, but
Yeah.
we didn't do that.
No.
We did like marriage prep.
Nice, I love that.
Is that Anglican?
That's
Is
a
that very
very
Anglican?
church thing, church Christian-y thing, marriage prep,
Marriage
but a good idea, I think.
Yeah,
What did
yeah.
the marriage prep involve?
Well, it was all sorts of questions I was not expecting.
Okay. Oh wow.
Finance was a big one. That's probably the only one I can safely talk about now. But I'd grown up like like my family. My parents had a business. They were kind of like the 80s bust and boom. We had so much debt. We lived with debt. As soon as I got to uni, my mum was like, "Go get a credit card," and I was like, "That's a great idea, mum." And I got a massive overdraft. So when we got married, Mikey was like, "Well, that is not what my Christian teaching has taught me." And like, how could you be in this much debt? And I was like, it comes and goes. It's fine. And then he was like, it doesn't. It's like, we need to work on this. And I was
Okay.
like, oh, okay. So now
Yeah.
we don't
Who thought
live
Mikey would be the
with
sensible one?
I
I
know.
know. Who
I
would have
mean,
thought that?
Sorry.
This is the little
on.
surprise about our relationship.
Yeah.
He's actually incredibly serious. But no, so yeah, that was budgeting. I would still like to do that course. Frankly, I'm
Yeah.
still not great with it.
Well, we did. Well,
Yeah.
Emma used to do. She won't mind me saying this, or she will. We'll find out later.
She'll be
so-
right
She
on
won't
it, you know.
mind,
In
but
fact,
also
she's
it
probably
wasn't
just wrote
very
something
bad.
going,
She's
no!
typing.
Yeah.
It's all right. There's a 30-second delay on this. So. And so when we first did it, Emma was her kind of relationship with finances. If she was going out for the evening or whatever, she'd go to the ATM,
Cash
point, cash till,
machine.
Yeah.
and she would basically it'd be like a lottery. She'd put in like how much, can I £50? Could I have
Will it
50?
let
And
me?
it'd say
Yeah.
no, and then she'd go,
It's
oh,
called
okay,
cash
well,
from
It's
there.
called cash
Yeah.
till roulette.
Brilliant.
yeah, exactly. So it's a thing. So Emma used to do that. So whereas I was again, I had that kind of like no, don't have credit cards, really bad for you, and all that kind of thing.
Who, though, is more fun on a night
Well,
out?
exactly.
That's what you need to ask yourselves there.
I will
Exactly.
allow listeners at home to respond to that one, but the thing is.
Your budgeting course.
We did the budgeting course, and they take you through all your ins and your outs, and then add up how much you've got at the end of the month.
Sure.
And so we didn't have, and we were like negative at the end of the month
Yes.
with that thing. And so Emma was crying.
She
So that
cried.
was the start of it. I was just like, I think that's when she started
It sounds very
regretting her
similar,
life
actually.
decisions. She was like, why did
Is
I
that
marry
not just
someone?
the trajectory of your marriage now? So you've made her cry ever since.
But possibly. Anyway,
Emma, you get the chance to respond, by the way.
that's it. Let us know.
Oh, Emma
wait,
Grant,
so
Emma
now
Grant,
you
Emma Grant.
experts
There
and
it is,
you-
there.
No, so
you run a course.
so I'm not running the course. I'm kind of there as the
Facilitator or something.
yeah, not even that. But she said it was so fun.
I
with,
was
with
so
crying
fun, she's saying.
emojis.
I was so fun.
She was. She's
Not
no,
the
so
course.
no. That's your eyesight. She is saying it was so fun.
Oh, it was so fun.
She probably said I was so fun before.
Yeah.
Before I got
Got a
married.
married son.
Here we go. Don't tell her that. She probably does think that. Marriage finance is easy. She's in charge, and I know my place. That's what Pete says.
Well done, Pete. Well done.
Pete. Okay.
Yeah.
But so, sorry,
What?
I'm getting
You're
caught up
reading
with
something
comments.
else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I've just remembered when we went to book, and this is 100% true.
Yeah.
When we went to book the venue
Oh.
for the Christmas special,
Oh, this is a classic. Sorry.
when we went to book the
Can't help
venue
myself.
for the Christmas special,
Yeah.
she needed a name
She
for the
did.
booking.
So we looked at each other, and he always takes control. So
I-
I know how you feel, Em. So
So I said, name Tom Grant. Instantly, she came back with
Brown.
Tom Brown.
Tom Brown.
Instantly.
And I just burst out laughing.
And so
She
he's
looked
wetting
at me.
himself, and
she
she's
looked at me
really
like,
awkward.
What's going on?
Really
and then she went,
awkward.
is this an in-joke? And I went, no, honestly. He does that. Everywhere he goes, he says Tom Grant. And everyone says Brown, and he thinks I've prepped him. It's just so funny.
We took that as a sign that it was meant to be, that was the right venue.
That was the right
didn't we?
venue for us, yeah.
So
They knew who Tom Brown was.
So the booking at the Beefeater is under Tim Brown.
Tim Brown. If you want to cancel it, ring up. Say, it's Tim Brown. I've changed my mind.
So that's where we're up to.
Yeah,
Also,
so we booked that this week.
we booked that this week. That was fun.
Yeah.
Also, I was saying before that, me and Emma, we had a day off this week, Laura, on a Monday,
Oh.
which is like, what's
What?
great about a Monday day off is that the kids are in school.
Yes.
And so we had basically a pajama day.
Yeah.
And do you know what my wife's amazing. Do you know what she said to me? Because I'd mentioned to her about this FIFA documentary on Netflix. And so she said, should we just stay in all day today and watch that FIFA documentary? And I was like, what is
Wow.
going on?
Better woman than
Does
me.
she want
Oh,
something?
yeah, I don't. Well, oh, hang on. Hang on. Oh, no. I've walked into that
You've
trap.
defo
haven't I?
walked right into that.
Oh, no.
Remember Monday when I sat in with you all day and we watched the FIFA
Yeah.
documentary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
You're done. You're toast, lad.
yeah, I don't know what I was thinking there.
No.
And that got us onto babysitting, didn't we? And we
Yeah,
started to
yeah,
talk about, because
yeah.
me and Emma have got local babysitters.
Yeah, and you were
nice.
saying that you've only got one babysitter.
really,
One
yeah.
babysitter.
So you've got one local babysitter.
Yes.
So is
Yeah.
that that's parents or?
No, it's just it's our church warden. She's really lovely with my kids, and
That's
she's really and
so
they
good.
love her.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know how busy she's going to be in December yet. Yeah,
I love that, but because Mikey, we know Mikey's.
parents.
Yeah.
So they
yes.
got off, didn't
They
they?
abdicated
They've-
their responsibilities
they've-
as grandparents, didn't they?
So
They're
where,
living at large in Spain.
wow.
Yeah.
And before Spain,
China.
China, yeah.
Which like it
China.
was, so
Why
it was
not?
like try and get further away from their grandchildren.
Well, they had kids young, and I think as soon as the
They
kids got
regretted
to
it.
a reasonable age, maybe. No, but they were like, right, you're all old enough to fend for yourselves. We're going to live our lives. So I
Yeah.
get it, but we did miss them. We did.
That's
miss
it.
them.
Ah.
Yeah. I was
well-
quite looking forward to going to China, but it's all gone a bit
They've
difficult.
been kicked
there.
out, haven't they?
Yeah, literally kicked out of China. No,
That's what you
they
get for
weren't.
robbing
They
some.
weren't. But it's well, I'm sure you can all read the news, but it's pretty strict over there right now
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
anyone from abroad. So
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
probably best they come back
think
before
it
they
was-
get themselves in trouble and do some babysitting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Flipping
Do some
heck,
babysitting.
come on.
Send the kids to Spain.
Well, this is something we've thought about for next summer. I don't know if a 3-year-old is too young to
No,
pack
no,
off.
it's never too young. Trust me.
I think he'd be all right.
It'd be sad.
It'll be character building for
It will.
him, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a boss idea. I was blessed with
Go
my
on.
kids because My
That's a
mum
nice
and
thing to
dad-
say about your children, isn't it?
Well, I'll tell you why I was blessed now.
Okay.
My mum and dad used to like, they would mind the Friday night. This is every weekend.
See, he's told me about this before, and it's so infuriating.
Friday night. And then Joyce's mum would mind them Saturday night. So every weekend,
Wow.
we got a weekend off for the kids.
Wow.
And
so
then-
every weekend, Friday and Saturday, would you
Yeah.
see them on the Saturday daytime?
No, they'd actually pick each other up from the houses and all that. And then the week after, my mum would be like, we're not having them this week. But then it'd get to like 6:30, 7. Oh, do the kids want to come down? Yeah, they're in the car outside your house. We're just waiting for the call.
Wow.
But so there was that. And then there was this one time, we had a caravan as well in Keffinlee. Shout
Classic.
out to Keffinlee in Wales, mid-Wales, there,
Yeah.
Newtown. And we had a caravan there. And Joyce's mum used to take them for the whole of the summer holidays.
That's
Unbelievable.
6 weeks. And there wasn't even a phone signal, so they couldn't even pester us. They had to go on the payphone to ring us.
Wow.
And then you seen the number and ignored it.
Wow.
It was bliss.
I mean, that is
6
another. Grandparents
weeks.
have really gone downhill, I think, nowadays.
They're just,
They're slacking.
They don't make them like they used
They're
to. do
proper
they, Tom?
slacking.
They don't make them like they used to.
I mean, Emma, my parents will have all 3 of ours, which is brilliant because I don't want to throw any grandparents under their bus, but I know some grandparents will limit the number of children they're willing to take. So if you have more than 2, they're like, oh well, we're not having 3. We're not having them all at the same
We
time.
haven't had that experience, but I mean, with my mum, not that she's competitive, but I think she sort of thinks like, of course you can handle 3, of course I can handle 3. You
Yeah,
know, and it's sort of
okay.
that like, are you sure
Yeah.
you're going to be all right, like mum? And she'll be like, yeah, absolutely. And she is.
I've done
fine.
this before.
But
She's sort of-
sometimes
yeah.
I wonder if it is all right. But
Yeah.
she's going to do it, and she's not going to tell us if anything went wrong.
That's it.
One of the
And I don't
best.
want to know, so it's fine.
No.
Yeah.
One of the
That's
best
a good
times
deal.
we had. One of the best times we had was when we dropped them off for their 6-week escape
Yeah.
to Wales. Like it was like evacuating them every year, you know.
I mean, that is incredible.
Yeah.
6-week escape to Wales.
Wow.
Yeah.
Someone had gone on holiday and we thought we should go on holiday while we're not with them. So me and Joyce booked a holiday to Turkey. Didn't tell them. Day goes off. We come back and it's our week to be with them the next week after we get back. We come back, we've got a suntan.
Yeah.
And our Rachel clocked it. She's the clever one. Straight away. Why have you got a suntan? Why have you got a suntan? Where have
How
you
old
been?
was she?
She's about 5.
Wow.
Right? Why have you got a suntan? Why have you got a suntan? Where have you been? And we went on holiday. She was furious for and still
Yeah.
is. I think she's 32 now, and she still brings it up that you left us in Wales with me nan. I said, well, you were with her anyway.
Yeah.
We went on. It was a sunset holiday, but 18 to 30 had just bought them out.
Sunset holiday. What's that?
How old were you then?
Yeah.
Probably
Were you in
about.
that?
Yeah, I was in that age
that
group,
age
but they
group, yeah.
just bought them out. But it wasn't them. But all the reps were 18 to 30 reps.
Okay.
Have you heard of 18 to 30?
Yeah.
I've heard of 18 to
Raucous.
30.
I'm just making sure, you know what? It was a ball. We had a ball. All these mad beach games. Me and Joyce playing these mad beach games.
I'm surprised you didn't have more children with
It
that
was
kind of setup.
boss. It
Just
was
carried
actually
on,
funny.
Send them out into the
Oh,
world.
it was brilliant. We had a ball.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So thank you, Joyce,
My-
now that you're deceased.
My mother.
We miss you greatly.
We're touching on. Yeah, well, she's getting some love. My mum was a legend from Joyce, and and saying God bless Joyce Flattery indeed. But the mother-in-law situation is getting some airtime here. So Laura's mum is an actual saint, to be fair. She's not watching, Mikey.
Yes.
People always joke about the monster-in-law, but genuinely, she's a belter.
She is a belter.
Is she?
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
a belter. My mother-in-law,
Yours.
yeah, she will have all of the children. So Emma's one of 6, and there is, I've lost count how many grandchildren there are. There's
Yeah.
loads. I've lost count, and I love them all very much, but I have lost count.
I
and,
love them dearly,
but
especially at Christmas.
yeah, Jackie will have all of them. Overnight, she's not
all the
phased.
grandkids?
Just throw them in.
Or just
the more the
your-
merrier.
your
No,
batch?
she'd have all of the
All of
grandchildren.
them, the
So
ones
you
you've
talk-
lost count of.
Yeah, like we're talking
Wow.
double digits easy. She would have them all.
That's
Wow.
a small school, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and she won't always know where all of them are, but she will have them all.
Well,
Yeah.
So again, it's that thing. If you're willing to go away,
Yes.
and just put that
And
bit,
just not think too
not
hard
think about
whether
it.
they're prescribing to gentle parenting methods
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
There was this other time that Joyce left me with the kids, but me and Paul Griffiths, who's a minister in Ormskirk, so he's a posh one, right? So, and Me and him were left with our kids to look after. And literally, we're watching the sport in the living room. And the telly and everything kept going off. And we're like, what's going on here? And then they come back on. What's going on? We didn't think, what are the kids up to? Because they're quiet. You know, when they're quiet, you know they're up to something, don't you?
Yeah.
When they're making noise, it's fine. When they're quiet, something's happening. And we went out to find them in the Lecky cupboard with a screwdriver, stabbing the fuse board.
Oh my word!
Stabbing the fuse board. They were virtually fusing the Lecky with a screwdriver.
Bucket of water.
Honestly. And then another time, we had the younger ones, Becky, and
not an isolated incident, apparently.
Who can trust me with kids? Come on, let's be honest. Like, we had Becky and Oliver, right, and they were a bit more boisterous than Fraser and Rachel, right?
Yeah.
And this time they were we're sitting watching the sport on the telly. Good afternoon. They're out. We're going to have a ball. Just let the kids do what they want.
Living the dream,
right? And they're running past us from the garden and going out to the living room. And then they're running past us. It was like a Scooby-Doo thing, you know, going past us all the time. And we didn't think for about the first 5 or 6 times because we're watching the footy. Anyway, it suddenly dawned on us, where are they going? They were getting out of the bedroom window onto the roof. And then climbing down a ladder, which I'd left up because I was fixing the roof, and then running past us in the living room, getting up, going back out the window, and just running around in a circle.
Wow, that is another
And
level.
they were about 4, 5.
Wow. Emma says that I'm not allowed to call it. Emma's basically said when she goes out and I'm looking after the children, I'm not allowed to call that babysitting, and I'm not allowed to demand payment. They're the 2 things she says. That's not a thing.
Have you demanded payment? I love that.
Yeah, it's not babysitting. Apparently, that's not okay.
It's
to call
not
it
babysitting,
babysitting your own kids.
It's looking after your own kids.
Yes, that's it. Great. Well, Laura.
Wow, yeah.
Look, you've already been here so long and it's been great. But welcome Laura Ferguson to the podcast.
Thanks very much. Thanks.
And do you know what? We wanted to just straight off the bat, you seem lovely.
Yeah.
So why did you marry Mikey? What happened there? What point in life did you think I'm going to settle? Because you could, I mean, come on.
Was it his uncanny resemblance to Michael McIntyre? Was it?
Yeah, was it Michael McIntyre?
You were a big Michael
thing.
McIntyre fan, and you thought,
yeah.
Do you know, I've got to be really careful because he always goes on about how I roasted him in my wedding speech.
Nice.
And I didn't think I was being that mean, but it's just like an easy target, isn't it? So I'm trying to be careful. That's nothing too mean, but I mean, yeah, no, he's
done very well for himself, hasn't he?
Yeah,
He's batting.
well, okay,
He's definitely
yeah,
he is.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, he's great. He's very funny.
He is funny.
Good.
I'm so bad at giving him compliments, but he's actually a very decent person, and he's extremely he's got the Scouse thing of loyalty, which a fierce, unquestioning loyalty, which as a Southerner, I'm not very. I don't know if this is Southern. Maybe I don't know if you can relate, but he'll say things like, of course it's going to be great. And I'm like, well, is it? Because I don't know, I don't feel like anything's that great, or and I'm just quite cynical and sort of. But he's got this unrelenting positivity and confidence and self-belief.
I mean, the Fergusons are all like that, aren't they?
Yeah,
it's like the mum and dad have brought them up. They're all like they'll all do karaoke, they're all performers, and I think that's brilliant. Because I come from an introvert family, where if you stood up, you probably got a smack across the back of the head. Sit in the corner, shut up,
put your head in,
or we'll get your uncle to mind you.
I don't know what we were talking about. I was thinking about what story I might share later, and there was one that came to mind about bad dates. I don't know why I was thinking about dates, but I thought because you're probably going to bring up something about Mikey. But so do you want me to share a little story?
Go on.
So this is when I was at art college. It was a long time ago.
Mikey in a bad light.
No, I think actually it might explain why Mikey seemed like a better option. Really.
Okay.
But so I worked in a cafe when I was at art college, which this is how old that I am, but it was called a cyber cafe.
Oh, wow.
like when the internet was in a cafe. And so I used to work at this cafe, and there was a guy there who was a French guy who he was quite sweet and quite timid. And he got his friend to ask me on a date. And I was like, oh, well, he seems quite nice. And when we got to the date, he talked so much. And maybe it's a bit of a guys feel the pressure to be entertaining or funny or something. And but he just didn't stop. I couldn't get a word in the whole time. And he told me this story that was about a job he used to have working in an abattoir.
Wow.
I was like, oh, this isn't really date talk, is it?
No, this is serial killer talk, isn't it?
Yeah. He was like, like, I don't know how we got onto it, but he was like, oh, it's funny. There's actually, did I say he was French?
Yeah.
He was French.
Yeah, you did.
He was like,
We
brace
totally
yourselves.
got it from your accent, just about.
It's uncanny. But he was like, there's actually only one piece of a pig that you cannot eat. And I was like, all right, you're going to tell me what that is now, aren't you? And he was like, it is, of course, the anus. And I was like,
I've seen I'm a Celebrity, they do eat it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or it's the jungle, isn't it?
Mike Hancock.
Don't tell people about that because they'll turn over
turn
to
over,
us.
yeah.
But yeah, so he was like, yeah, you cannot eat the anus, and in fact, my job was to take the cart full of anus and take it out to the trash, And I was like, okay, where is this going? And then he was like, one day, in fact, I was taking the cart. And I was pushing it and watching all the anus rolling around at the top. And all of a sudden, an anus fell out of the top and landed on my foot. And I was like, oh no, there was an anus on my foot. I don't know what to say to this. Anyway,
You've got problems, mate.
The date didn't go on much longer than that. And I had to kindly decline another offer of a date.
Wow.
But so when I met Mikey, he didn't even talk at all about anuses. So
Oh, what a guy.
really great.
Well,
Yeah.
smashing it, Mikey, lad.
I was really hoping that story was going to end up with that being Mikey, and just decided that it would be quite cool and attractive to have a French accent.
And he was
just
just
kept
doing
it up.
French
Yeah.
accents.
Seem
'Cause
exotic.
He likes his accents, doesn't he?
He does. He
does
is good
like
at
his
accents.
accents.
Yeah.
Wow.
And his
He
impersonations.
did French A level, which makes him believe that he's fluent in Spanish. So whenever we go to Spain, he's always like, por favor. I don't know any Spanish, but
It's all right.
Very good.
Rafa
Very
Benitez.
good.
It's the only one I know.
Well, Laura, now that we've finished with the anus talk, you're a vicar in the Church of England, incredibly so. I thought that we were doing well to keep this Baptist gig, but
I've avoided swear words so far. Yes, maybe the greater question is how on earth did I get
how did
ordained?
that happen?
How did I end up with Mikey?
Because also, I remember when Mikey was on, we talked a little bit about an Alpha course, which is like an introduction to the Christian faith. And we've done lots in there, and people have found that really helpful.
Yes.
People of all all faiths and none. But that was part of your story. Was it? Maybe you could tell us. Laura's got COVID, by the way, so she's doing her best to cough sideways.
Suppressing my cough. I have got a bit of a chest. Yeah. But no, I did do an Alpha course, and I grew up going to church with my parents. We went to our local parish church, and then my church was kind of. Anglican, but open evangelical, I guess it called itself. I didn't really know about any of those labels. But anyway, I left when I was 18, went to art college, didn't really go to a church in that time, wasn't really interested in it, and felt like it had been quite restrictive. And I don't know. My church experience was actually quite good and pleasant, but it wasn't like, I don't know. There's a lot of unsaid stuff at my church and stuff that I felt was implied, and never really got to a chance to talk with anyone about it, and didn't really bother, and then just kind of drifted away from it all. And had a really great time at art college and made loads of really good friends. Met that amazing guy. Yeah, it was like an incredibly liberal art college. So I mean, every walk of life was exhibited there. There was even a guy who used to dress up as a priest for no reason, just Anyway, and he used to come to the, he did used to come to the Cyber Cafe. But anyway, so after I finished my degree, I couldn't afford to stay in London anymore, and that's why I was studying in London. And so I moved back down to Plymouth, where I'm from, and quite quickly fell into a deep depression.
Wow!
This isn't a funny story; it's fairly sad. But it was just, I think sometimes that happens in life, doesn't it? When you're like, you've spent the whole of your life, like for me, it was like you go to school and you go to secondary school, and then you're going to do, like my mum's American, her dad was a Greek immigrant, and he was quite a socialist. And I think there was always that thing in our family where you work hard and you get an education, and your education is your ticket to everything. And so she was quite ambitious for us, not in a like nasty way, but she always had kind of, she expected us to go into higher education, and she was, I mean, we all went to art college. My parents met at art college, so they weren't against kind of arts degrees as long as they kind of had a career plan. And I did not have a career plan. In fact, I kept on like flitting in between things. So I started off doing like a foundation course, and then I did like graphic design, and then I did like I ended up specializing in like animation and film and stuff. And really what I really loved was writing stories and telling stories, and I'm trying to find a way of communicating those things. And I always loved comedy, but I was never brave enough to go to drama school, which is probably what I should have done.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I left London, left all that, had no idea what I was doing with my life, realised I wasn't really an animator, it was like a little bit too much like hard work. It's very slow animation. I don't know, you have to all that frame times. Yeah. So I was like, oh golly, if I just want to like tell stories, maybe I should try and be a comedian. So I moved back home and was just so depressed. I couldn't think of anything funny to say, do. And I had no confidence either. I mean, I'm still not a comedian, but I have secret dreams, But like
during the comedy course,
I've already said I'm well up for it. I really am. Yeah, you can.
That's
take,
fun.
I'm gonna take it. Yeah. So in that time, I just was really low, and because I'd moved back home with my parents, I started going back to church on Sundays. And for the first time, I kind of realised that my vicar was a really interesting, brilliant person. And he was, I guess he just noticed that I was in a bit of a soul-searchy place in my life. And I think church was the only thing where I could start asking questions. And so he invited me on the Alpha course, which was kind of the only thing they had for 4 people to do if they wanted to like go a bit deeper. And so I started going, and actually I found it. I mean, we make a lot of jokes about being Southern, but there is nothing as Southern as, what's his name?
Nicky Gumbel.
Nicky Gumbel. There is that man. And there's a lot of, that sort of affected evangelical, it's a lot of the Anglican church. You get it with blokes wearing gilets and, like, do you know the Lord?
I actually do own a gilet.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
Of course he does. Of course he does.
Do you say,
I don't even know what a gilet is.
No, don't look at
them things without arms.
You don't want to know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
I look good in my gilet.
No, you don't.
Do you
I've
say,
been trying to tell you.
guys, great to be with you tonight.
He does.
Let's dive into the word.
Yeah,
I can definitely do that. I did that when I first
and
came
blue
there.
jeans.
Yeah. You quite quickly lose it, I think, when you're in Liverpool.
That's it, because they keep punching you.
What are you talking about, mate? Yeah. So there was that I think, and actually, it's very wordy, and there's a lot. Sometimes I think there's some great bits about the Alpha course, but I think that actually what it brought up in me was a lot of anger about why did God create us if you can't see God, if you can't know God? How can you know God? And how can, and all those questions started surfacing. And I used to turn up like on Thursday nights and kind of living for that course, because that was when I could ask the questions that were burning inside me. What's the point of my life? What's the point of my existence? And because I don't want to be an animator, and I'm clearly not a comedian, even though I want to be, and I can't write anything funny, and I've got nothing to say, and
I know how you feel.
Alan's getting an amen from Alan over here. He's like,
preach it.
He's going to start weeping in a minute. I'm with you.
You're going to have to lead a time of prayer, I'm afraid.
Sorry.
But anyway, so my vicar was great, and each week I came away with a better question, so I'd have this question, why don't you do this, God? And then it was like, well, why don't you do, actually, wait a minute, how can I do that, God, if that's the thing? So one thing after another led me to, the Holy Spirit Day, which is like the away day at the end of the course. And we went to this little chapel in the middle of deepest, darkest Devon.
Wow.
Winters. In fact, what's the date? It's coming up to my anniversary, because this was the day I sort of count as my Christian birthday. I think it was the 27th, maybe, actually. So we are in this little chapel, and you know what Christians are like, don't you? They always put on some terrible,
they're horrible, aren't they?
panpipe whale music or something. It's like, doo. And they're like, just stay quiet. We're just going to wait on the Lord. And I'm sitting there praying, and I know what's expected of me here, because I've been in the church long enough to know about the wacky Christians who, fall down crying or laughing. And I was just praying, God, please don't embarrass me. I just don't want to do anything really embarrassing.
Yeah.
But also, maybe are you there? But please don't embarrass me.
Yeah.
And
I know exactly how you feel.
it was like
Carry on.
cringy and then I just felt a real sense of peace come over me and quiet, and then it just stopped and nothing had happened, and I was like, oh, okay. And then just as I was leaving, my vicar said to me, oh, how have you had the day? And I was like, yeah, no, it was been all right, except for the panpipe dolphin, whatever. But and then he said, oh, I don't know. I know you're a bit lost with what to do with your life. Maybe you might think about becoming a preacher. And I was like,
wow.
That's not a word that anyone has ever used since. And it's certainly not an Anglican word. And he was fairly Anglican. I don't know why he said that. And I still don't really know what it means to be a preacher. But anyway, when he said that, I was like, I wouldn't even call myself a Christian at the moment.
Wow.
But then it was like a punch to the stomach. And I felt like God was saying, I don't care what you call yourself. I'm calling you. And it was like, oh, and like I got real chills. And then I left the building, got into my car, and I was absolutely just overwhelmed with the love of God. And I felt like, felt so worthless. And how could God see me as an example of the Christian faith when I'm like, my whole life is a mess and I'm doing all kinds of stuff that I don't think are probably in line with Christianity, but yet you want me to be an example of, and then I thought that is grace. And I had a perfect understanding of grace, like in that moment, and burst into tears and cried for about 2 hours and didn't stop. I don't know how I had any liquid left in my body. And it was, and I got home and I told my mum and dad, I was like, I think God is real. And my dad was like, oh no, what's happened to you at that thing? You've turned into one of them. And my mum was like, oh, well, okay, that sounds, okay, let's have a cup of tea. And no one really knew what to make of it. But that started the kind of journey of quite soon after I started working for a church. And it was a real healing process of sort of what I guess now I look back on was depression. And there are lots of ways you can heal depression, and that can happen. But coming to faith was a big part of that, really, and feeling like I had meaning and purpose in life.
Wow.
That hasn't
That's
got onto
incredible.
the vicar bit, but maybe I'll do that.
We'll get on that in a minute.
We will, yeah.
All right.
No, we'll get on that tonight, yeah.
Yeah. And keep,
another time.
if you've got any questions, I am seeing
any
a
questions?
couple of questions come in, which we'll get to in a second. So throw those questions in if you for Laura as as she's talking. Just a quick one. Peter was saying it's a body warmer. Body warmer.
It's a body warmer.
Not even pronounced that way. Debbie said gilet. If you wear a gilet, you're a Tory. That's what Mikey said. A gillet.
Gillet
That's
it
it.
a gillet?
Yeah. It's a gillet.
I'm
If
embarrassed
it's
for you if you say gillet, mate. It's embarrassing that.
Well, it's just look at it.
Gillet.
Gillet.
Gilet and nougat equals Tory Tom. That's what Pete's saying.
Tom Brown.
Yeah,
Tom
anyway. And then Mikey's followed that with up if... after you said that beautiful story about God's sort of call and purpose on your life.
Yeah, go on.
I can't do anything useful in life. Better be a minister. Tom, Mikey, Laura, Alan. And the Holy Spirit came down like a whale.
Yes.
Very good.
I feel like that's nougat worthy, that one.
Oh, that's good.
Getting there.
Charlie Roberts is in. I think he must be a mate of Mikey. And he's saying he's partaking in World Cup fantasy football. I assume that is.
Oh, let's talk about the fancy football briefly.
While you're here, then just briefly,
Very
Charlie, because it's a
briefly.
bit of a segue, but we just threw up our fantasy league at Finnegan's, and you will notice that
Where's Mikey? Where is he?
I can't see that low. He is in the top 12.
Oh, he's 10th.
He's 10th.
He's 10th.
Do you know what? It's fantastic, Mikey. You've just gone above my daughter. So well done. Well done, you. You should be really pleased. And maybe...
The Archdeacon or whatever his name is. Or the
Mike
McGuire.
He's at the top.
He's top.
he?
Yeah.
He sounds horrible. Is he horrible?
He's a
Laura?
Man U fan, isn't
Do you
he?
know, he is so nice. He's been
Is he?
really, really lovely to us. So I will not say a bad word.
He's a Man U
He's
fan,
He
though.
deserves
he's a
first
Man U
place.
fan.
He's a Man U fan.
Yeah, he's actually about to move on. It was
He is
announced a
moving
few
on.
weeks
Is he?
ago.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
I think we should kick him out of the league then, because he's been...
Yeah, because I'll be top then.
Because that's it.
Let's kick him
That's
out.
it. So well done, Mikey.
Yeah.
Just beating my
And don't forget,
daughter.
Mikey, at the beginning when you
She's
said,
10.
I'll give you 300 points and
Yeah.
still beat you.
Yeah.
Just keep that in mind, matey.
So anyway, sorry
anyway,
about
back-
that. Thanks
back
for
to
joining
this,
us,
'cause
Charlie.
this is much better.
This is much better. This is brilliant. And I just thought Laura, then, so how does that happen then? You go from this quite incredible experience, really, quite I mean, to go from that place of like no faith, I don't know, no faith, but to then find yourself very quickly becoming like a vicar.
It was quite quick. And sometimes I wonder if they were trying to fill a quota of female nuns. But I'm not going to downplay myself. But perhaps that was a factor. I don't know. No. But
how quick was it from that experience to you going into becoming ordinand?
So that was 2007. And I went to be an ordinand in 2010.
Right,
for 3 years. Yeah. So I did 2 years. So the same vicar that said, why don't you think about being a preacher, said, you know, because he saw after a few weeks after it happened that I was like a little bit like stunned and living on like cloud nine spiritually. And he said, come around for a meal and we can have a chat. And so we had a chat and he said, I'm wondering if you would be interested in doing the children's worker, like youth worker role. We've got a bit of funding for a job and, you know, and the person had just left. And so he said, if you want to try out doing full-time ministry at church, you know, paid ministry at church, within a church, have a go and see. And I was not a great children's worker. I don't know what I think I'm like.
Neither am I.
I think because I don't know. I think I don't know how to be good at things sometimes. And so I'll, like, to overcompensate, I'll work really hard at something that no one asked for. And then I can be resentful that no one's appreciating how much work I put into it. You know? And like, that's not a great way to be.
I just don't like kids.
Yeah. And there was that. I had my first group was some teenagers, and they were like 13-year-old girls, and boy, can they scream. Like my eardrums at the end of those nights. And I used to, like, eventually after like 6 months of doing it, I decided to have silent night. So I was like, come in. And every child I let in through the door, I was like, welcome, we're whispering to them. And they were like, why? And I was like, that's great. Keep it that. Yeah. So
that's the equivalent to when parents try to play sleeping lions with their kids, isn't it?
And try to see how long you can leave it.
See how long they can.
I mean, I grew up. I was the only male in our house. Even our dog was a female, you know. And literally, the screaming decibels. I mean, I think the dog was the only thing that could actually hear things at times. They were that high pitched. There was just be World War III between all of them. Becky had robbed something of Rachel's out of her door. Rachel was putting locks on her door, padlocks on her door. Joyce would be in the middle. Oh, that head would be done in.
I can't imagine. I can't.
I'm honest. I'm glad they're all gone.
This feels like therapy tonight, doesn't it?
I'm letting it all out.
Yeah. Well, I'm one of 3 girls.
Put it back in again.
Where's the whale music? Where's the whale music when you need it?
I think we were all a bit more chilled though, but I was one of 3 girls.
You were more. We can't start making whale noises.
No.
So vicar.
Yeah. All right. So okay. So what? So that vicar got me the job of doing that, and I did that for 2 years, and in the second year he left. And I was like, oh, great. Well, he was the only person who really knew about this, like, hope or this thing that he'd said. And so I thought maybe that would be it now. And I'd just kind of carry on being a youth worker or something for a bit longer and then try and do something. I don't know. Didn't know. And I bumped into, like a few months after he left, I bumped into what's called the DDO, the Diocesan Director of Ordinands. And that's the person that you see if you're thinking about going for ordination. And they discern with you whether that's the right thing to go for or not. So they're not necessarily making a decision about you. They're kind of helping you discern your calling. So you can meet with them for a while and it becomes apparent that actually, you know, that being a doctor is the thing or whatever. But and then you go on that path or whatever. But so he said, oh, you know, I'll give you my number. He said, well, he asked me what I was going to do after I'd, you know, whether I was going to carry on being a youth worker or what I was just doing in life. And I said, well, actually, I was thinking about being vicar. And he said, oh, right, well, that's funny because I'm the DDO. Why don't I give you my number and we can meet? And I was like, oh, I didn't think that's how it was going to go. So I did nothing because I was like, oh, it was a bit creepy and I don't know him and that's my secret thing and I don't think I'm ready and who am I? And I'm so unworthy and just all that agonizing, tedious, blah, blah, blah. So went through all that and...
Sounds like you've read my autobiography.
So I left it and then I bumped into him again a few months later and he said, you haven't called or anything. And I was like, no. And I sort of thought maybe you just forget about it kind of thing. And he said, well, no, really seriously, do give me a shout. And I was like, sure. Sure. Okay, maybe. Sure. And then didn't do anything. And then I bumped into him for a third time. And he was like, here's my email. This is my phone number. Do just call me. And I was like, all right, I will. Three times enough times to be told. And it, like, you can, it felt like that was God then. So I went and met with him and we started talking about, like, you know, all the 9 criteria as it was back then. So you'd have 9 different things: faith, understanding of the Church of England, like, obviously I can't remember the other things, spirituality, stuff like that. So similar, I don't know, the Baptist.
Well, Tom trained in an Anglican college.
I did train in Anglican.
Where were you?
St. Mellitus.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So you probably know about the 9 criteria then. Or,
well, no, because I was training to
He
be an
tapped him up
Anglican.
at one point.
They did try to tap me up to say, come and be part of the Church of England. It's much better.
Yeah, you get more money and everything.
They pay better.
Pension, they do. Yeah.
Big house.
I mean, that's the sad thing. It's not easy in the Church of England, especially not at the moment. And there's a lot of divide and conflict, and not very much money as it used to be, and it's not the same as it was 50 years ago. But I see that it's got some benefits to it.
Yeah, no, I love the Church of England. I feel like, you know, when you feel like God's put you in. I've been put in the Baptist boat, so that's kind of feels where I am right now.
Yeah,
it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
I go to all these meetings locally, you know, the churches together stuff, and they all see me as their little apprentice.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, should we get Alan to do a little prayer? Oh, thanks. I'll do a prayer. Thanks. Don't let him read, because he can't read.
You do a lovely prayer now, Alan. You've worked really hard. You do a lovely
mate.
prayer. Miriam says, Laura, what's the easy parts and the hard parts of Christian life for you?
Ooh,
That's
question,
that feels
Miriam.
like an interview as well, doesn't it? It feels like.
Yeah, you've got to answer that one, right?
What are your strengths, weaknesses?
I find it hard being so good at my job.
Being such a good wife.
I think, well, in terms of faith, I think at the moment our lives, I say our, Mikey and ours lives are very, very full on in a way that probably we underestimated. And we've got just, life is so busy. I have a constant feeling that I'm failing everybody.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, there's people sort of say, oh, the Lord won't give you more than you can bear. And I think, well, this currently is more than I can bear. And I'm finding it really hard
pretty
to
close.
tell. Yeah. So I think, like, we're just managing, but some days it's a bit like, you know, like, oh, no, this is too much. So one of the hard things is actually asking for help. I'm not very good at it, and I grew up being kind of taught to be quite independent, and and actually that's not what the church. In fact, the church in the Christian faith teaches us to, like, reach out to each other, depend on one another, and to have interdependence. So I think that's something I'm not very good at, and I find hard.
And I think that's been one of the things where we've fallen down as Christians over the years, because we want to share our faith, you know, but I think we've fallen into a trap that we feel like we have to pretend everything's perfect and that we're all sorted out in order to then get other people to buy into it.
Because that means we're really holy and really good and everything else, and everyone will see our lives as a shining beacon of faith and want to be it.
And I've tried that at times, but it lasts a really short time. If my kids are around, it lasts like seconds. Because I have to, like, you know, when you don't shout at the kids, but you just give them a look, you know, like eyes. Emma's got a look that she gives me sometimes.
She's doing it now.
She's doing it through the screen. I can feel it like lasers.
But don't you, like, I don't know if you have this, but when I go over to someone's house and I see it's messy, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Like, we went through quite a bad patch with George when he was like 1.5. He was doing quite a lot of biting at nursery, and I was mortified because I was like, we don't teach him to do that. We don't know why he's biting, and I'm really sorry. Can you say sorry to the parents? And you know, and they all has to be confidential, so they can't tell you whose child it is. You can't apologise. Anyway, we were this gentle.
You shouldn't have been watching The Walking Dead. That's what I said.
That might have been where we went wrong there. But, like, when he didn't do it for ages, and then he moved up, like, because he moved up to another class, and they were like, we think he's frustrated, I was like, great, thanks for making excuses for me. I'm really glad of that. But then we got this, can I just have a word, Mum? Do you mind, can I just get you over here and have a word, Mum? And I'm like, oh gosh, he's done it, he's back at it. And she was like,
Louis Suarez.
The ear, it was the entire ear. Oh God. No, luckily, this was the good bit.
Go on.
She was like, I'm afraid George has been bitten today. And I was like, yes.
Well done, George.
I love it when people are human and we all say, I've got it wrong and your house is a mess. Mine's a mess. I only tidy it for when you come round, you know? Yeah, so I love that. I think it's relaxing about that a bit more, isn't it, probably?
And I think that's where
I think we took it into faith, though, as well.
Yes.
Was that what you were going to say?
I think that's exactly what I said. Go
I
on.
think we took that attitude, not just about daily living, but we took it into our faith. So, particularly in the style of churches I've been around, we took that in, that everything was pristine, everything was on point. We were so good at everything.
Praying 7 hours a day.
And all that type, reading your Bible so much, you know, all that kind of thing, witnessing every second. Yeah. And I think that was tiring. And wears you out.
Unattainable.
Unattainable. Massively unattainable.
Maybe
but
not
everyone
even what God
pretended.
wants.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, absolutely. So, anyway.
Yeah.
And I think people can't connect with that or resonate with that because they can't see themselves in it. They think this is some fake, they don't even think it's fake. The danger is they think that's real.
Yes.
And they think, well, that's completely unattainable. But
I can't, they must be brilliant. I can't do it.
And so that faith can't be for me.
That was one of our guests we had.
Rob Thomas, he said, wasn't he? He said he'd been around, he'd been around Christians and they'd been really good to him, really good to him, really real nice, positive experience, but they seemed too perfect, too unattainable for him, and he couldn't see anyone like him in church. So he thought, I can't see myself
be here.
Yeah.
I can't be
this
here.
isn't for me.
So very, very interesting. Yeah.
But that was the bad bits, wasn't it? The good bits. This was Miriam's question.
We're still on Miriam's
I feel
question.
like I should say a good bit now.
Yeah, go on. Can you think of any?
I can't think of any. No, I was like,
it's the pension, isn't it? It's the pension. The Baptist one's up the wall.
Yeah.
Oh no. I mean, I think probably still having hope. Having hope is probably the main, the kind of but I still just hope a little bit, or but I don't think that is it, or but it might be okay, or and lovely things that happen every now and then. Like I've had a really tough summer because my colleague's been away on sabbatical, and it's back to that. Am I even a good leader? I don't know. What am I doing? And I've spent a lot of time doing admin and stuff that I'm not very good at because it has to be done, and feeling a bit overwhelmed by it. And then I just had the loveliest wedding. I was showing before about you guys, about it with you guys, because it was just like a couple who wouldn't normally go to church, have no interest really in religion per se, but who were a really fun, interesting couple, and just felt like one of their parents were a bit religious, and they thought as a nod to them, they'll have a church wedding. And they picked my church is quite kind of liberal and progressive, and it sort of aligned with their, I guess, thoughts about the world and things, and to an extent. So they were a really lovely couple, and it was such a joy to do that wedding for them. And it was so fun. The whole wedding was just bursting with joy. Everybody there would just love this couple, and there was just so much laughter. And I haven't been to a lot of weddings where there was just that much laughter. And it was just so fun to be a part of it. And it just lifted me. And I thought, this is the stuff I'm here to do. I love this stuff. And it's such a privilege. And even doing a funeral is an absolute privilege, and such a joy to have people entrust you with something so precious to them, the life of a loved one. And stuff, so there's loads of lovely.
It's
bits.
the little the little nuggets that come along amongst all the hassle and the fallout and the stressful stuff that we come across your door almost daily. You get these glimpses of beauty and joy, don't you? Yeah. And you see something happen in someone's life, or for someone that is boss, and you're like, that's why I do this. And that's what makes me put up with everything else. Really. I know exactly what you're talking about. Sorry.
Here we go. As well, one question from Debbie. Laura said, Laura, do you find it hard to say no and get others to share the load that you feel you want to help everyone?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably, yes. I say yes to too many things. People do say, don't they, that you should just say say, what is it? I can't even remember because it's something I don't live by. But it's like, you know, you have to say no to say yes to the thing that God's calling you to. That kind of thing.
Interesting.
So, you know, so like, but I don't do that because I say yes to too many things, and then I end up doing all the things semi badly. But one of my New Year's resolution actually this year, and something. In the Anglican Church, we have spiritual directors. Do you have this? It's like something you just meet to talk about faith and where you're at with God.
Sort of. We're supposed to.
It might be, yeah. Well, I've got a really great guy who just is happy to listen to me, which is lovely. And he was listening and he said, I think for you, Laura, your question, because I've been wondering a bit about my purpose in this role that I'm in at the moment. And he said, maybe your question isn't about the role sort of particularly, but maybe you could be thinking more about how can I draw creativity out of this day or this situation, because that's where my heart's really at, actually. Anything creative or arty or whatever I love. And it's really changed the way I think about things now. So when I think about the kind of things I really enjoy doing, often it's because I've done something creative or wait, why was I talking about that?
That's all right.
Oh, I've gone off one.
It was a question off Debbie.
Oh, it was about saying no to
doing
things.
too
Yes,
much.
so I've been trying to say no to more things so that I can say
So
yes
you
to
can
doing
do more
creative stuff.
Yeah.
And I think the whole saying yes, trying to achieve. I was interested with Debbie's question particularly because for me, my son is watching. He's 12, and he says, "Yeah, Dad does too many things."
Yeah.
But the idea that for me, maybe it's is it an acceptance thing? Either feeling like I have to do enough to please people or please God or something like that, and I have to think that the Christian faith, if at its truest, is an antidote to that in the sense that, you know, God would call us children, his children, you know, and children, they don't have to do anything to earn your love. They're just loved. That's just the way it is. And so for me, I think trying to slow down and just be like, well, actually, you know, in my brokenness, other people might be able to see Jesus a bit more clearly in my life. And also, I'm not helping anyone, my family or myself, by trying to be perfect or do too much.
I read a great article which sort of like made me feel good, right? Because it was about being a good leader, and it was basically good leaders leave things undone. So that others will pick them up.
You tagged me in that, didn't you? And it said, this explains my whole ministry philosophy. It was something like leaders know when to underlead. I think it was something like that.
Do
and
not, basically.
I'm not quite sure that's how you've gone about that.
That's how I read it.
That's how I feel about post. Like if I get bad post, I just leave it, and after a while it goes out of date, and I don't have to ever deal with it. It's the same principle. Leave it long enough.
I get emails and things, and if they're more than a sentence long, I just go, my head melts, and I just don't read them. And then people say, "Did you get that email?" I go, "Probably."
It's got the attention span of a cat.
Just tell me what it is.
A goldfish would have been better. Cats are quite attentive, aren't they?
Okay.
A goldfish.
Some sort of animal. You see it if you're talking to him. The eyes just go away. And he's underleading again.
Underleading, I love it.
Yeah. Underleading, that's my forte. I'm brilliant at it, apparently.
Very good. Very good. Okay, fantastic. Well, we're going to crack on. It's so good to chat, Laura.
Thanks.
You've been such a better guest than Mikey.
Yeah.
No, we love Mikey as well. We love Mikey. Mikey said, actually, I love leaving things undone. You might be able to testify to that as well. Emma said also, when I did my back-in, that was totally the question. Who am I if I can't do anything? Took me a while to just be okay with being me without doing anything particularly helpful. And that is societally, that's a big thing, isn't it? And I think even we're so often defined by what we do. That's on our ability to be productive or to achieve things.
It's usually one of the first questions someone asks you.
It is.
And so then when someone, so then also I think you see that in potentially the way we treat our elderly, because suddenly they can't be productive anymple anymore. They can't do anything. And we start to think they're not as valuable anymore, which is just so sad.
That's terrible. Yeah.
But Alan's still.
As I get closer to it, it's
still
terrible. You're horrible, you are, you young people.
But Alan's still a valuable person, Laura. Take you out to the shops sometimes, don't they?
God loves him.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Yeah.
So we're moving on.
We are moving on. Okay, so fantastic. It's time to play a game, Laura. This has been so lovely, and we're going to carry on having some fun. But we thought we'd play Finnegan's Fortunes. Mm-hmm. So Finnegan's Fortunes, here we are, and I didn't. Let's have a look where we are while Laura has a little sneaky COVID cough. And so let's have a look. Finnegan's Fortunes. The question this week is.
Long dramatic pause. It's gone black, the screen.
Here we go.
There it is.
We asked 100 people to name their favourite chocolate. Favourite chocolate.
So this, right, I'm not very good at this. Is this the game where you have to come up with the most typical answer?
Yes.
And that's like,
and
okay.
there's 6
So- and
answers
there's
you've
like
got to
higher-
find.
Oh, man,
So we asked.
okay.
But you're going to win some.
Else we're going to win some.
Let's do this.
You're gonna win some. That'll be church merch, mate.
Oh, church merch.
So this is your chance.
This is your
Every time I
chance.
look at the church merch and I want all of it because I'm a collector of tat.
Ah,
I get
you're
so
perfect.
excited.
I hope
This
you win.
is- Yeah, I hope you win.
Yeah,
I
it's
hope
all
you
behind
win.
you there.
Yeah.
So have a look. Can you
Got
see?
my eye on all sorts.
You've got the teddy bear. Fantastic.
Is it up? No, the Queen mug is here.
You can have
isn't
that.
it?
You can have whatever you want.
I quite like the sign.
Yeah, you can have that.
I mean, we've got enough big toys, but New Kids on the Block. I love that.
Classic.
I
You
don't
can't have
a
them.
record player.
They're my.
They're special.
They were bought from when my children were born.
Oh, were they?
They were number 1 when my children were born.
Oh, that's
I
such a
think
good
she can have
idea.
them if they're over there. It's
What
fine.
are you on about? You
Guitar, Guinness hat, Winnie
You can
the
have
Pooh
this
clock,
top he's got on because he's
PlayStation
clearly
3.
gone past it. It's
How
dead
was that?
short on the
Last
arms.
week?
Hava.
Yeah,
What's,
that's nuggets
Nougat.
from.
Oh, no,
In
look, it's
Turkish.
Russian or something.
It's nuggets from Turkey.
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 Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, you can have that.
So there's lots.
Guinness hat.
There's lots of
My
options
mum
there.
loves that stuff.
Well, you can
Yeah.
take that for
Well,
your
there you
mum.
go.
Greek roots.
Perfect. There you
Okay,
go.
well, all right. I'm just
Here we are then.
Okay, but
so
I've
what
got
are
to
you
win
thinking?
now.
Have you got? You better win now. What are you thinking?
100.
Okay.
Start with?
Chocolate.
Snickers.
Snickers.
That's my favourite.
Snickers.
That's your favourite.
I
We
should
asked
have gone
100
something
people to
Cadbury's,
name their
shouldn't I?
Okay.
favourite chocolate,
And your-
which is their favourite
Do I have to
chocolate.
go through all of them now, or just?
No, hang on. We're going to
Wait.
You're gonna do
You've
it.
got
So
this
you're
one right.
saying? What did you say?
Snickers.
Snickers. Let's have a look. We asked 100 people. Is Snickers up there?
Oh,
Wow.
Whoa!
I'm
Not even up
gonna
in the
lie.
top 6.
It's not
No.
in the top 6.
You've started
all
bad.
right,
Not even
chocolate
there.
bar.
Do you-
It's going to be something Cadbury's, isn't it? Just Dairy Milk.
Oh,
Dairy milk.
Dairy milk.
Dairy milk. It
So
could
we asked
be a-
100. Our survey said.
Survey said.
Can you? What are you doing?
I'm so slow today.
You're having a slow day, Tom. What's going on?
Dairy milk,
Dairy milk,
number
top answer.
one.
It
Top
was-
answer.
Oh, right. Wow,
It
okay.
is the top answer.
Top
From
answer.
zero to hero. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
it. Shall I have a look? Let's
Um,
see. You've got. Go on. Have you got any other thoughts? There's plenty of
Sure,
people
I bet there's
shouting
loads of people
out.
shouting things.
There is.
I feel
They're
suddenly
not
like
all
I can't
right.
think of
No.
any of them. I'm just thinking of like the popular ones.
Yeah. We did ask that. We asked 100.
Mars.
Mars.
Mars bar? Come on, everyone.
Mars bar. Oh, you think it was up
The
there, wouldn't
Scots
you?
love
You'd
that,
think-
don't
you'd
they?
think it was
Battered.
Mars bar. Yeah, battered Mars bar.
They like batter and everything, though, Scots, don't they? Particularly
We do
Southerners.
have some Scottish people watching, so
I don't care.
you should be a little bit careful about that. So
Oh,
you're
yeah.
saying.
Says him who alienated the whole of the Midlands last week.
Okay, Birmingham. That's fair enough, isn't it? That's fair enough. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
we can all.
I think we all agreed that the Midlands is the worst accent.
Yeah,
Was
yeah,
that
we
what we were
did.
talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
We're going to
It's,
Birmingham. I'm going to drop you off on Spaghetti Junction and see if
and
you
I
get
This
out
is punching
alive.
down.
And I tell
You think batter and Tories up here is bad? Wait
Do you
till
know
they
what?
get a
I
grip
could
of your
take a
Tory
lot of them
tongue.
in Birmingham. I've
Yeah.
been in Liverpool for 10 years. I've learnt a few things. That's what I'm saying.
What were
So,
we on?
I don't know. What did we
Mars
say?
bar. Mars bar.
Okay, let's have a look. Is
Our
Mars
survey
bar up there? Our
says-
survey says.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
Kit Kat.
wow.
Do you- Well, if
Sorry, I'm
firing.
Fine the matters now.
Come on now.
shots.
Come on.
Fine the
I
matters
can
now.
see the want to achieve is
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
You're like,
You've got
Seeking
one
the
life
approval
left.
of-
there's one life left. Yes.
Oh no,
So-
these are lives. You didn't even tell me that. I
Sorry,
thought I
you'd
could
had
just-
3 lives.
Oh
yeah.
golly. Right.
so-
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying Kit Kat?
Kit Kat.
Let's go
I mean,
Kit
I'm
Kat.
going to go with that. Yeah.
I think you should go with
I
Kit Kat.
think you should go
That'll
with
be a
Kit
good.
Kat.
That
So
might be a good one. to
We
go
asked
with.
100
Okay.
people. Is Kit Kat
Yeah.
there? Kit Kat's the fifth answer.
Fifth.
So-
there's a
Okay,
few
come
more
on.
popular than
What
that.
are people
Okay.
saying here?
Okay,
Yeah,
let's get some.
okay.
Let's get some.
We can
Yeah,
help
I need-
you now.
I need some help.
We can help you now.
Okay,
Yeah.
here we go. Galaxy.
Oh, I love
Dime
Galaxy.
Bar from Kathleen. Maltesers,
My favourite.
says
Dime
Anne
Bar, my
Higgins.
favourite.
Maltesers.
What else is up here? Bourneville. Anne.
Bourneville.
Bourneville.
No,
Dark
Bourneville's nobody's favourite.
too old.
Sorry.
Too dark.
It's not-
Bitter.
yeah, no.
Nasty.
It's not nice.
Cooking for cooking.
That's
Puffin, yeah,
it.
put it in chili sometimes. or something
Kathleen
like that,
says Lint.
yeah. Lint.
Mark.
Oh, hadn't even thought about
Mark
fancy
says
chocolate.
Maltesers. I think he's going for there.
It's 2 Maltesers. now.
Bounty. Although I think Bounty's a controversial decision.
Yeah. They've just
Coconut.
taken it out of the celebrations for this year,
Have
haven't
they?
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Emma's
That's how
saying Ferrero Rocher. That's just a hint. That's a hint for me.
That's a Christmas. That's a Christmas present.
That
The
is
thing
a
is, right,
hint.
Ferrero Rocher and Maltesers aren't a chocolate bar.
No,
Well,
Is
no.
it a packet of chocolate?
Favorite
or-
chocolate. It
Favourite-
says.
favourite
Just
chocolate.
favorite
Did I
chocolate.
say chocolate bar to
No.
you at the
Wow,
beginning?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think I did.
I
I'm
was
gonna say
thinking
no.
bar.
Well,
Anyway, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, that opens it right up.
okay.
second picnic.
Cream
Debbie's
egg.
saying cream egg. Mark's saying Ferrero Rocher.
More Ferrero Rocher.
How would you say? You say Ferrero Rocher? Ferrero
No.
Rocher?
I say Ferrero Rocher. Yeah.
Rocher.
Rocher.
Rash. I just second.
What are you talking about now?
Twix. Well,
You've got no room to talk, have you, about accents?
okay, all right. Laura,
Yeah.
what are you? This is the last life, so you've
Last
got to get
life.
this now.
You've got to
Okay,
get all
right,
four
I'm
of
going to
these
go
to win.
Maltesers.
Maltesers.
You're going to go Maltesers.
Maltesers.
Okay.
Our survey. I'm too fast for you, Anna.
Yeah,
our survey said.
There.
Boom.
Still in the game.
Still in.
Still in the
Okay.
game.
Oh, I've just
So what are
lost
you
the game.
thinking next?
I don't know.
What are you thinking
I
next?
mean, Dime has.
You've got
I
three
think
more to
Dime
get.
has found a new sort of popularity.
Time,
in recent
time is my.
years.
It's IKEA's
I
smashed
think
it, haven't they?
it's
The
IKEA.
time.
That's it.
Yeah.
But is it gooder? Is it gooder than?
Is it gooder?
For instance,
Than.
I mean, Ferrero Rocher is like fancy. I think people love it.
But it's a Christmas thing, isn't it?
It's a bit too. It's like you wouldn't say an
It's
after eight.
it's like a
would you?
cream egg, isn't it?
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what I mean?
They're like seasonal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you're going deep on this.
Dime.
I like
Let's
that. really,
This has gone really
I
What
can
did I say?
see-
I overwork to compensate
Yeah.
for my lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should do fantasy football. I think.
Yeah.
You'd be
Really?
better than Mikey.
I do always say to him, you should go with your heart on that
Yeah.
rather than the stats because
Yeah,
come
well,
on,
the stats
come on.
aren't working
Stats
this
are
year for
nonsense.
them, are they?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so you're going with your heart.
Dime.
And
Dime
you're
bar.
saying dime. Okay, let's have
Dime.
a look. Is it up there? Is
Dime.
dime up there?
Our survey
Otherwise,
said-
sadly, you're not going to get the church merch. We said dime. Our survey said.
Yeah, fine. Fair enough. That was a bit of a curveball. Okay, so what are the answers
Well,
then?
we'll guess it.
Funny you should say
Sorry,
that.
I'm
Funny you
rushing
should
on.
say.
Let's have a
You've said a couple of them,
Okay,
I think.
so-
Oh, no,
Number
not
six
a picnic.
is-
Number 6. You actually said
After
you
8
wouldn't
mints.
say that.
No,
After
you
8
would never
minutes.
say after 8 minutes. Okay.
8 people round here, didn't
Fancy round here.
Unbelievable.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Very fancy. Up at number 3 was.
They're always in own bargains, aren't they? Cheap.
They are cheap.
Oh,
No one
yeah,
buys
it's
them.
true.
So.
Next to the
Yeah,
nougat.
yeah.
And number
Next to
3 is Galaxy.
Galaxy.
People
Oh, I
did say
forgot about
Galaxy.
Galaxy, and I love
People
it.
did
In
say
fact-
Galaxy.
Few people said
I
Galaxy.
ate so
Yeah.
many Galaxy Ripples when I was pregnant with George. I don't know what that says about him or me, but I loved Galaxy. I can't believe I forgot them. Okay, so
should've.
just Galaxy anything or
Glad you didn't
It
eat
just
specifically-
milk.
says Galaxy, so it's a broad
Oh,
character.
well,
Yeah. And finally, number 2,
Number
I think
2,
you're
yeah.
gonna kick yourself.
Oh, you will. You mentioned this as well.
Lint.
oh yeah.
The
okay.
the
Yeah.
salted
People go
caramel
nuts
ones.
for those.
Oh, the salted caramel
Yeah.
Oh, we went to Cheshire Oaks the other week.
ones. Yeah,
For
they have a
some reason.
proper, they have a lint
And
shop, don't they?
we just bought the salted caramel ones. And
Wow.
it was delightful.
Wow.
It was
Okay.
like, take me now.
If you honestly, if you'd like to buy me and Alan some of those for Christmas,
Oh,
that'd
the
be.
salted caramel lints.
That'd
Not
be
favorite
appreciated.
of all time.
We can't give you any church merch,
No.
Laura. I
It's
feel
all right.
bad about that. I
feel
want
bad.
to give
Again,
you
oh,
some,
I've just
but
seen
I
Mother
can't.
Teresa as well.
Ah.
Gutted,
sad times.
That's actually from Mother Teresa's house, that,
No.
where they keep
Yeah.
her dead
Right.
in the tomb in her
I
house.
was just loving the idea that although she lived a life of poverty and simplicity, she had statues of herself.
There's loads
all
of them
around.
that they sell to tourists.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
that.
When you go and read her story, a life story in the
Yeah.
in the mother house, as they call it. Fascinating because she's
Where is that?
Calcutta, yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
Calcutta, as they call it now. They've
Ah.
changed it,
Okay.
like use lot.
So that's just how you pronounce it.
And you literally read, and one of the parts of what struck me about her story was she said she had I think it was 12 or 15 years where she never heard the voice of God at all.
Wow.
She calls it a dark night or
Gosh.
something.
The soul.
whatever. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Mm.
And it's just, so because she never heard God, she just kept going,
Doing what she
Wow.
was doing.
doing what she was doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Impressive.
I was very impressed. So I
Impressive,
bought
yeah.
a statue.
Trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Bought a little statue.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
nice.
Just to remember
I love it. She's just
Mother
looking over
Teresa
us.
by.
Do you know what? Mikey's happy you didn't win. He was saying,
He thought I was an idiot for all my suggestions, I expect.
he said, even if she wins, tell her not to bring church merch home. She's got enough rubbish in her house.
Yeah,
then
maybe his prayers have been answered there, I think.
Yeah, well, yeah. Afterwards, he just said, thank
Thank
God.
God. I think Mikey's done a few tonight.
He's been good, hasn't he?
He could be nuggets of the week, to be honest.
Oh, so I did come home with a prize.
Yeah. We might give you the Havlar just to annoy him.
Yeah. All right, let's do a quick little bit of Tom's top tips before we get Laura to tell her story. So we're going to head over now. Tom's top tips.
It's Tom's
top tips. It's good, that, isn't it? It's good, that.
Come on.
Well, I thought we'd do a bit of...
What nuggets of wisdom have you got for us today?
Well, I've been thinking this week, because I started the money course.
Oh, yeah.
Budgeting and all that kind of thing. So I've been thinking money. And I was thinking, times are hard, aren't they? So a few little top tips about money.
Particularly about budget money, anything like that. Yeah.
Useful for yourself. So I've gone for...
Yeah.
I had a little think.
Yeah.
I wasn't quite sure how to word it, but I've gone with the final version is don't let making a living prevent you from making a life. Powerful. That hit Laura like a ton of bricks, didn't it? It feels like it should be in the Bible. But I don't think it is.
It's not in Proverbs.
Isn't it? I don't know.
Is it in Proverbs?
It feels very familiar. But I think that's because I said it.
Slowly.
I thought it for a long time, and then I just kind of. But the other one, good, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got nothing to
Nothing
say
to
about
say.
that.
The other one, I thought this is brilliant. This is
belter.
brilliant. People think I've stolen this one again because it's so good. So what I've gone with is every time you borrow money, you're robbing your future self.
Not if you don't pay it back. If you don't pay it back like half the people who borrow money off you, then you're not. It's called an investment.
It's good that though, isn't it, Laura?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're robbing your future self,
Robbing
like time
yourself.
traveling.
Yeah.
It's a time travel thing.
Lends a tenner.
No, not a chance. Not a chance. And finally,
don't give me your top. I don't want it. Keep that.
That's it. That's a Christian thing, isn't it? To share your top with someone else.
Yeah. If they ask for you, the coat, give them your
Give
shirt
them your
as well or
super dry
something. I forget now.
hoodie.
Yeah, but I don't want it. You're all right. You can keep it.
So there you go. That's good, isn't it?
Tom's top tips. Yeah. It's
Tom's top tips.
Fab.
I think that's all right. Fantastic. And we're going to finish off with an opportunity, Laura.
Oh,
An opportunity for you.
Right.
I
thank
think she's
you.
been fab already. To
She
be
has
fair,
been
Probably
fantastic.
had enough of me.
No.
And do you know what? I think, basically, this is your chance to get on the wall.
Yeah.
And
And we've
so-
got to change the jingle, haven't we?
Haven't won the merch, but can I get on the wall?
Can you
That's
get
the
on the wall? So
question.
that you feel, because as we say to every guest, no one is
Ever.
yet to not get on the wall.
So I'd have to do something really bad.
You'd have to.
Yeah. Okay.
But
People already
Okay,
feel
so
sorry
it's
for you
already
because you're
the odds are
married,
in my
Mikey.
favour. Let's face
so
it.
you're
This
all
is
right.
looking good.
You're
Yeah.
looking good. Yeah.
Okay.
But
alright.
don't get above
Don't
your
get
station
stressed.
about it. Though. People won't like that. So
Well, this is a story. If you want me to, shall I go for it?
no, wait.
no,
Alan's
we-
going to do the jingle live because we've
Oh, nice.
because we
Because we're
haven't
sexist and we've only made one jingle.
gender
Yeah, we
thingied
haven't-
it.
Oh, is it?
So here
genderised
you go. You ready? So
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
basically if you do a good story,
Yeah.
a good thing, then what's going to happen is
We're going to get it on the wall, lad. No, get it on the wall, lad. Yeah, that was right.
That was it.
did you
that
do
was
it right?
I did.
Okay, phew.
I did. I've done it right. I've passed me gender equality test.
You're very
would-
self-aware now.
You would not pass. You would not pass. But the other one, sadly,
Yeah.
is if it all goes wrong, then what would happen is
You bad girl.
yeah.
Get it out of my pub.
So that is possible as well. That
Was
could be
that your best Peggy?
Yeah.
Is that what she's called?
That was the Scouse Peggy.
Yeah.
great. So we need people at home to vote and let us know. Do we let people in the pub with COVID? Is that a thing?
It's not. I promise
is
it's not
now.
COVID. It's not
It is now. We might not be here
Okay.
next Wednesday.
That's it. Okay. So we'll hand over to you, Laura, and
Okay.
we're hoping, and everyone at home
Yeah.
alongside
Roaring you on.
cheering you on, and we'll vote for you.
Thanks,
So
lovely.
go for it.
All
Yeah.
right. So this is a sort of story about my incompetence, which I think
Nice.
everyone
Good
likes to
start.
hear about. So although I am an Anglican vicar, I still don't know how to do quite a lot of things in church. And I just sort of have quite a relaxed approach to it all and hope that I can get away with it. And so
You and Alan are very similar.
What you've got to think about is no one knows you don't know what you're doing,
Yeah.
so just keep blagging
this
it.
is honestly, this is the thing. So this is what I think every time. So I've got 3 churches in city centre: St Michael's, St Bride's, and St Dunstan's. And St Dunstan's is what we call Anglo-Catholic. So
Yeah.
quite traditional, although it does things slightly differently, but it's very high church. So it has a very high sacramental theology, and the Eucharist, or communion, whatever you want to call it, Holy Communion, is revered. And so every time I do it, I feel like I am not doing this like a proper way, and everyone knows it. But that might not be the case. Maybe it's okay. Anyway, I was doing it a few weeks ago. I just started saying some of the prayers, thinking about where my arms go, and because they have to go in places, and I'm not really sure which of what, when. So I'm just sort of trying to do it, and slowly
VAR will
and doing it.
VAR will come in, cancel. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like our local retired Roman Catholic priest comes in. He's not any Roman Catholic priest. He's a cardinal.
Wow.
And he's worked in the Vatican for years. He's done an amazing work, interfaith work. He's renowned for it. He's written books. And I mean, he's like kind of quite an intimidating figure. He's very friendly and nice, but everyone who knows anything about him is like, Cardinal Father Michael Fitzgerald is coming. If anyone knows him, he's a lovely guy, Michael Fitzgerald. But I don't know. I'm so unaware of everything that I don't even know how to address him. So I say Father, because that's what Catholics in Liverpool do. They say like, hello, Father. And I think he's a father, so I can say it, so, but
Is
anyway.
he not a cardinal though?
He's a cardinal, so he's a cardinal, and he's a doctor. He's got every title.
He's got too many titles.
You guys don't have bishops, do you? We've got archdeacons, bishops. So the Catholic Church go even higher. Then they have, I don't even know if there's something above a bishop before a cardinal, but a cardinal's like next up, and then there's like
the Pope.
Cardinals and the Pope. I think there's the Pope. So he knew the Pope. He knows the Pope.
Of course.
Yeah, like that. Anyway, he wanders in the middle of me doing communion. Now, bear in mind, I don't know what I'm doing.
So was he late? Straight away, he was late.
You know what? He
the
was
arrogance.
late.
I'm fuming already. I am fuming.
Yeah, I know. And I'm there thinking,
just turn up when you want.
Why is he here? Does he want communion from me? And I'm a woman. And obviously the Catholic Church, I don't know if you know about that, but the Catholic Church and women priests, it's not a thing.
That's not a thing.
No.
And so he doesn't recognise my ordination, which is, that's okay. We're okay. But I don't know why he's there. And I'm thinking, what do I do when he comes up for communion? Does he know that it is communion? He's obviously seen we're having communion. We're all standing around in a circle. Anyway, he comes over, and I'm thinking all these internal monologue thoughts. And he just stands in the circle. So I'm like giving out communion now. I've done all my little prayers, did all the hand bits. Now I'm bringing it round. And I get to him. And I stand there and I'm holding a wafer. And I'm like, the body of Christ. And then he just looks at me and says, just a blessing, please. And I'm like, of course, because obviously, like, why would you want communion from me? Because obviously, we're not in communion with the Roman Catholic Church. And he's like a cardinal, so he represents the church. He isn't just part of he's not just like a Roman Catholic who
Big
got confused.
deal for him, yeah.
He's like, he knows what he's doing and he's not going to receive. Fine, okay, whatever, So I'm trying to be cool about it all. But then I remember that I have completely forgotten how to say a blessing. I don't even know. We don't do blessings that often.
No.
And I'm like, there's a formatted prayer that I should have learned at some point, but I haven't. So normally it's kids who come up whose parents don't want them to have communion. So they say, can you give my kid a blessing? And I go, bless little Alfie and pray he has a great week. God love him. You can't say that to a cardinal. So I'm like, what do I say?
I wish you had.
Bless big Mikey.
Bless little Mikey.
Bless you.
Have a great
day. So I'm like starting to get like a cold sweat on now and shaking because I'm like, I don't even know how to
Which
address
in some churches
him.
would be just the right thing to do, wouldn't it? Sorry.
We won't go there. But he's like just waiting, and I'm like, come on, Laura, just say something. You know how to pray, Laura, just pray. So I'm like, dear God. And then I'm like, how do I address him? Father Mike, is it Michael? Is it Father Fitzgerald? Do I say the surname? Is it Cardinal? Oh God. And I just end up saying, dear God. And then do I put my hand on his shoulder, on his head, on his shoulder, his head? So I go, shoulder. Dear God, bless this man of God. And then he just interrupts me and says, Amen. That's it.
Let's put it out of their misery.
I mean, it was painful for all of us. I was quite relieved, but mortified. And then the person who had to have the wafer, the next wafer had this little sweaty wafer that I'd been holding for 5 minutes.
Oh, wow. I think you might have swayed his opinion on female
Oh
ordination.
yeah, I mean, if I was representing all women, I definitely had a positive effect there. I'm sure.
Oh, I love it though,
I
Laura.
like
I
it.
love it.
I like
It's
it,
such
yeah.
a good story. Let us know. Give us a vote. So if you want Laura to go on the wall, say wall.
Yeah.
If you want Laura to be barred, you cruel, heartless people.
Oh, don't
I mean, that's going to be
Bless
really
Father
awkward.
Michael is watching.
yeah.
Cardinal Michael is watching.
Yeah, and he
Barred.
says barred from heaven.
Respectfully.
Yeah,
barred.
respectfully barred. Just a blessing, please, and you're barred.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So let us know. Would you like? It's going to be awkward at the Christmas special there. Although you could babysit if Mikey can come and you can't,
Yeah.
Laura.
Oh gosh.
Oh, yeah, we never thought that one through, did we?
I can.
Imagine
I can babysit.
that,
That's true.
Yeah, no, we're not having that. Let's
No.
have a look and see. Miriam says already on the wall.
Oh,
You're,
thanks, Miriam.
lovely. Anne says on the wall. Mikey says, what does Mikey say?
He's saying bad. No.
Get her on the wall, lads. That's what Mikey says. Very good. Emma says this reminds me of a scene from Bridget Jones.
Yes.
Get her on the wall from Pete. Here we go. Becca says Laura is literally my favourite human. Put her on the
that's
wall.
very
Is that your
nice.
sister-in-law?
Is it?
Becca
is it
Ferguson, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
lovely.
That's so nice.
So Miriam says wall. Very good. Defo on the wall. Mikey said technically. I'm Father Michael.
That's how I address him when we're at
Yeah,
home.
all the time,
Yeah, very good. And Joy says funny in an episode of Father Ted. And Anne says straight to the top. And
Father
I'm
Ted.
going to pronounce this word incorrectly, but Anoka. Do you know Anoka?
Anoka, yeah,
Yes.
lovely Anoka. That's
So
so nice.
Anoka's been commenting throughout, and she says
Oh.
wall for definite. So
Oh,
Anoka,
that's so nice.
Fab.
fantastic. So we will get her on the wall.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks everybody.
Very good.
Are we going to put her by Mikey or
Above Mikey, I think.
Scrape-
Above
scrape his
Mikey,
name
yeah. There's
out.
one
Yeah.
just under you and above
Replaced.
Yeah. So we'll put Laura here. Oh, Laura,
Mikey. Glad
that,
you're doing it because I
thanks.
don't know how to spell it.
there you go. I think I've got it right.
You'll have a thing.
Yeah,
There
nice.
you go.
Perfect.
Fantastic.
Perfect.
I'm so pleased,
Yeah.
Thank
Laura.
you.
I'm
Oh, I
so
am.
pleased. Do you know what? It's been an absolute joy to
It
have
has.
you on.
It's been an
Absolute
honour.
brill.
Thank you.
Oh, no.
I've
the
been
honour's
really
been ours.
nervous, so it's been very relaxing
This
and
has
fun
been
actually.
a boss episode.
It's been a
I think.
fantastic episode, and
Yeah.
you've just so much good stuff. Very
You've-
funny.
You've made us like women vicars.
Yeah, that's it.
Because Tom's a skeptic. He's not. I'm only.
It's trying
I'm only messing.
Great, good.
Well,
Yeah.
you messer. I'm a Tory, and I'm also against.
Yeah, I'll go home tonight. Did you know that about Tom? It's really
He's against women or leaders.
Yeah.
He wants you to wear hats and everything. That's why he was hoping you'd take the
Keep
Guinness hats. He was
silent.
thinking, why hasn't she got the Guinness hats on?
He's a Tory, and he hates women.
Yeah,
That's what,
yeah.
People are going to be reaching out to Emma
Loves
and
the
saying, "Do
cardinal.
you need any help?" You know.
Loves the cardinal. No,
Well,
it's been fab.
it has
Thank
been
you for
good,
coming
Thank
on.
you so much.
And
you.
hopefully
So this
around for the
nonsense.
Christmas special then.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get you
definitely.
around for
Yeah.
14, Wednesday the 14th.
We'll get the
Yeah.
we'll get a babysitter.
14th, Wednesday
So
14th.
who's going to be Nugget of the Week? 'Cause
I-
the Nugget of the Week gets a chance to win a ticket,
Well, for me, the ones that I seen and heard,
which was
there was
any
one
of them?
further back that I
Go
can't
on.
remember what it was, but it was Mikey.
Mikey.
I know, and it's easy to get it to him.
Saves on postage.
That's it. So,
But I mean, that's up to you. You can pick one as
No,
well if you
I
want.
thi- I
do
think
you want to pick another one?
oh, Josh
thought Mikey.
has already got his ticket for the 14th, so we won't give it to him.
Has he bought one
He's
already?
bought one already.
What a
Yes,
guy.
Josh.
You're getting a free.
You're getting a new
nougat.
girl, my friend. Mikey said you smashed it. Very good. So we're going to give Mikey a ticket. So that would be good.
Oh, that's all right, because he would have got one
Really?
for free anyway.
Yeah.
We would have given him one for free. But do you think Anoka would come to this nonsense?
Oh,
What do you think?
yeah.
Maybe you speak to
Ask
Anoka and
Anoka.
we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
okay,
see.
yeah.
We'll see. Maybe you can have a night
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, we have. I need to catch up with Anoka big
Okay.
style.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. All right.
Fabulous.
Very good.
Anoka's absolutely lovely.
So yeah, we've got our Christmas special on the 14th. We've got the people who want to sign up for the comedy course, which Laura's now doing because she wants to be a comedian.
Would love
That's
to.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you know
it's
what?
a Thursday night. Is that a good night for you?
No.
Mikey does a course. He's doing a course, but I don't know if it carries on after Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Okay.
But yeah.
Would you be free to lead the course? Because I think you've smashed it. I think you smashed it.
Yeah.
Would you,
I didn't even get onto all my failed comedy stories.
do you know what? We'll
have you. We'll have you back.
Going to have you
We'll have
back,
you back.
Laura.
Okay.
Definitely,
Yeah.
we're going to have you back. So
And next week we've got
Dave
Dave
Connolly, the man, the legend, Dave Connolly,
Yeah,
who
the
has been.
legend.
I mean, he's been a good good to you
Been a
over
good
the
lad,
years,
yeah.
hasn't he?
Yeah, he's a good
He has.
lad,
He's looked
yeah.
after you.
He has looked
We're-
stopped me getting into some trouble.
He has, he's tried- he's like,
tried to
I've-
keep me on the straight and narrow.
I've been in
Failed,
yeah.
but that.
I've been in meetings where he's looked at you and just been, stop that. And I thought, someone had to say that, Dave. And so, well done. Good lad. So we'll have Dave on and
dear me.
next week.
Yeah.
And then we've got a few more before the Christmas special on the 14th.
Yeah.
So come and join us for that.
Yeah.
But you can...
Find us on Spotify, YouTube, whatever else we're on.
just like...
I just say things, don't I?
Just- I was just gonna-
Instagram.
I was wondering where you're going to go after that.
yeah. Twitter.
All of the big names.
All of them.
So, and also you can get previous episodes as well
That's what I'm
wherever
saying,
you
yeah.
find podcasts. So that
I'm
would be
saying,
good
yeah.
as well. I know. All right, you did it. Did a good job. All right, God bless you.
Subscribe and like.
Subscribe, like, comment.
It helps.
Share
with the
this
pod.
as well. Give us a share. I mean,
Share it.
Yeah.
now
It
that
helps.
you've known this episode's been so good,
Yeah.
you can give this a share
Yeah, absolutely.
with confidence.
yeah.
And so, bless you, Laura. Thank
Yeah,
you so
bless
much
you,
for
Laura.
coming
Very
in.
much.
It's
been
time
lovely
for
to
us
be
to
here.
call.
My gym was delicious. It's
Ah,
been great to
good.
be
Yeah,
here.
it's
And we'll
time
see
for
you
us
again
to call
soon.
time.
It's time.
It's time for us to
Isn't
call
it? So,
time.
it's
Very good.
Time, ladies and gentlemen, please.
God bless and goodbye. See you next time.